Rain,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome aboard. If you drop down the center console, you'll find a cup holder there
Oh, perfect.
that you may find handy.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
My name is Biniam.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, dear. Welcome to your Saturday morning.
Oh, I'm not excited to be with this girl.
Oh, shucks. On your app, darling, you might have a code for me to put into the app.
6236.
6236?
Yep.
Awesome. Hey. Quick heads up, dear. I do an unusual thing in my Uber where I have a live stream going, so
That's okay.
just watch what you say. Don't incriminate yourself or whatever.
That's okay.
I'm comfortable with whatever you want to share. I just want you to not to be unawares, basically.
Yeah, okay.
This is like the end of the city here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I do not like this neighborhood.
Oh, you don't?
No.
How long have you been here for?
Pardon?
How long have you been here for?
Almost 2 years, I think.
Okay. So it hasn't kind of settled for you.
No, especially like how long it is to like even walk to the closest bus stop is 11 minutes.
Oh, just walking?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's inconvenient.
Just a little bit.
That's when you call people like me.
Exactly.
Say, come. We're here to
Especially when I have to go so far.
Oh, man. And you're starting fairly early for a Saturday morning for work, eh?
I'm actually doing a Spanish language exam.
Whoa, I see. You got it, or are you kind of nervous?
I am nervous
Yeah.
because this is part 2, so there's 4 aspects to it.
Okay,
And so I feel like this is a little harder than the last time.
I see. I've met many people who love studying language just because they think it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those. Which one are you?
I definitely like it because of the opportunities it also gives you.
Okay,
But I was kind of forced into it at the beginning.
I see, I
But
see.
at the end of the day, I'm glad that,
That you're in it.
yeah.
Gotcha. I was driving someone from Chile yesterday, and I was telling her how here they just love the Spanish language and the way it sounds. And she's like, really? I'm like, absolutely.
Spanish is a beautiful language.
Do you think it's more beautiful than French?
Yeah. I think French is an ugly language.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah. Is it because of the way it sounds in contrast to Spanish?
Kind of, yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that might be it.
All right. How about this? Between French and German, which one would you choose?
Oh my god. German is such an angry language.
It's a harsh sounding one, isn't
Yeah. So they're probably French then.
it?
Even though I am German.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Of course, I could totally tell. That's
Yeah, I
hilarious.
get that from my mom.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Although, yeah. Have you ever been there?
No, unfortunately. I
So
feel
you-
like there would be a little bit of racial discrimination in Germany.
Okay.
But,
I wouldn't know, honestly. But it'd be fun to go and
test
I
the
guess
waters.
experience it firsthand. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think I love the idea of traveling all over Europe because I don't know, there's just so much history there that you can access, right? From the
Yeah.
buildings to places, and yeah, that'd be fun. So Spanish this morning, and then after Spanish is done, then will you feel a lot more lighter?
Yeah, I feel like I'll be a lot more relaxed
Nice.
and not so paranoid about not passing. Because my mom wants me to pass it,
Yeah.
and all my friends want me to pass it. Because
Yeah.
it gives me a lot of credits
Oh, I
just
see.
from doing an exam.
Oh,
So,
cool. Cool. And is it serious concern that you might not pass? Like, are you? Because I'm thinking you got this, right?
Yeah, I feel like if I don't pass it, it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But if I do pass it, I get 20 credits,
Okay, that's
which is really
significant.
good.
That is
So-
huge.
It's just, if I don't pass,
Yeah.
my mother won't be very happy about that.
Gotcha.
So,
I hear ya. I'm thinking there hopefully will be at some point in your future where you feel the true sense of being a grown-up, where you're like,
yeah.
I like regardless of what mom thinks. I remember for the longest time I was very sort of reliant and dependent on my parents. I guess expectations, right? It's like, I gotta do this, otherwise I'll hear from them, kind of thing, right? Whereas, I don't know, like, it took me decades to like sort of not really have that as one of my determining factors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally can relate to you. When you're like, there's a lot riding on this,
Yeah.
and some of it is external. I can relate. Is this at university level or high school?
I'm still in high school.
You're still in high school, got it. Because I don't remember doing Spanish in high school. Well, we didn't have that option in high school.
No, this is the language course exam is only available for grade 12s.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Only for grade 12s. You know what would be fun is to find a Spanish friend. Or someone who, I don't know. Yeah.
I just like the thing with Spanish is I refuse to speak it unless I have to.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's just the reading that you're interested in?
Yeah, I'm really good at the reading. I'm really good at listening and writing.
Yeah.
But
speaking it?
Like, I can speak. I just prefer not to because I sound so, like, it's broken Spanish. So
It doesn't sound fluent for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you feel self-conscious about that.
Yeah.
I see. And you think you'll sound awful to those who actually know what they're talking about.
And that's one thing I don't like about this exam today is that there's 4 parts, and this part, the last part, is an interview.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So, I'm not excited about that one.
How long is this exam?
It said, okay, so it starts at 8:30.
Yeah.
And then it should be done around like 1:30.
Oh, this is a good half a day adventure.
So I have a reading comp, writing, and listening, and then an interview. So.
I see. When you were saying how like you feel conscientious about the way you sound if you were to speak it, I think that there are so many of us in society at large, adults too, who are in that same zone where they don't want to actually, if I can say, speak the language of their heart because they're afraid of how that will sound to people. You know what I'm saying? So you're just reminding me about that. Like there's, I think so many people out there who are, a good word to use would be, they're like camouflaging, or they're, there's another word I was thinking. They're not really like showing up with confidence of who they truly are, because they're like, it's a freaky idea for so many of us, thinking that if anyone ever knew the way I think, or the way like what my true desires or questions are, then I'd be a write-off kind of thing, right? Yeah, I think there's so many people who struggle that way.
Yeah, like speaking Spanish in Canada is not for me, but if I wasn't like in Spanish, like when I lived in Mexico, like, I'm okay speaking it because like they know that I'm obviously a foreigner, so it's okay to me. Yeah. But like speaking Spanish to someone who speaks Spanish somewhere else, it's like you know they're gonna be better than you. So it's just like it's so weird sometimes.
Yeah. So there's a flip narrative. I used to be a teacher and I taught English. And I also taught English to immigrants as well too. And they'd be saying to me like, oh, Bingham, you have such a beautiful accent. I want to speak just like you. And meanwhile, I know they'll never be able to speak like me because they came as adults.
Yeah.
And they're stuck with their accent for life. Because unless you came before your teen years, my observation, you have an accent kind of thing. So I'd want to tell them, there's a beautiful element to different accents. For me, they're like flavors in English, I told them. And it's so much fun like listening to diversity, you know? It's not all the same. So it's kind of cool to see that. And then secondly, I said, honestly, you might be feeling self-conscious, but I told them, here's the real point. Imagine you were talking to me, now you're enjoying talking to me because I'm a decent person and I know that, and you're enjoying that. But imagine if I had the most beautiful tongue and was able to speak the best English ever, and yet I was a douchebag. Then you wouldn't really enjoy interacting with me.
Yeah.
But imagine I had really rough accent, but I had the most beautiful heart. All of a sudden you're really interested, and the common denominator there seems to be not the quality of the language expressed, but the intentions of the heart, right? And so along those lines, I was telling them honestly, for me, the real reason why I wanted to do well well in English and sort of mastered it as well as I could in the way I speak it, in the way I communicate and so on, is because my ultimate intention is how do I connect with someone's heart? How do I connect with someone's mind? And a huge part of that comes with the intentions a person has behind the words that they're carrying, right? And people can kind of feel that or intuit that. And so I guess maybe my encouragement along those lines would be like when we kind of embark into the uncomfortable, for example, right now, I'm feeling very conscientious about the way I'm speaking. Because I recently got a retainer inside my mouth and it's taking up space. And I can't say my F as nicely as I used to. I just want to take this thing off and just have my ability again. So I feel like I'm having to learn how to speak again. This is like a whole new experience for me. And so I'm very aware of that. But then it's an ongoing reminder, even in the present moment, saying, oh yeah, this is like a real, like before I was articulate, I was precise in my pronunciations. Now I'm feeling really sloppy. I'm careless in the way I'm enunciating my words. It's just a learning process. But it's a really good tonic for me to remind myself, saying, oh yeah, in the midst of all this, the real heart of why I want to even speak the language and share ideas with others and feelings and all the beautiful things is because at the very heart of it, here's a fellow human being who doesn't have access to what it means for me to be me. And the only way that they're going to get access is if I take that risk, use my voice, however messy it is, and say, here's what my intentions are. Here's a little part about what makes me me, and I'd love to give that to you as a gift, for example. And that's a really beautiful setting, right? So I say all that by way of encouragement to consider how you want to walk courageously in that awkward zone of like broken Spanish. Because we all start there, right?
Yeah.
Especially those of us. And I think those who are listening, I mean, they might note the brokenness, but that wasn't the thing that was the aftertaste for them. The aftertaste was, what experience did I have meeting this person? What did they express behind their words or their attempts at communicating kind of thing? And then it becomes really beautiful and memorable for the right reasons. But what do I know? I'm just an Uber driver.
No, but it's okay. It's always nice to hear what other people have to say.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you were an English teacher too. So
I was. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. I mean, I love the job, but I don't like people. Just kidding.
I don't like people. I'm all the time.
I tease. Again, I just said words there that have a certain meaning that weren't taken literally.
Yeah.
But they came out in a certain way, right? That's the fun part about it all.
Yeah.
If I were to move to a different, say I was to move to Mexico, or Mexico as they call it. If I were to move there, I would want to master the Spanish language.
Yeah.
I'd want to learn as best as I can, and like you were saying, I would also face all that. Like they would understand, of course, and I'd just fumble my way to try and get better.
Yeah.
But at the very heart of it, my main concern would be, how can I show my heart in the midst of trying to connect?
Yeah.
Yeah. Grade 12 though, darling, you're almost there.
Oh my god.
What's that, dear?
I'm so ready to get out of school and leave.
What are you most looking forward to outside of school?
Being able to like go out.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm stuck at home because I babysit every day.
Yeah.
And like I don't usually get to go out very often anymore.
Are you the eldest?
Yeah.
And how many siblings do you have?
I babysit 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then my other 3 are with my father. Somewhere.
Gotcha. And the gap between you, the eldest, and your youngest is what?
So I turn 18 next year.
Yep.
And the middle one just turned 4.
Yeah.
And the other one is 2.
Calling.
So I think it's 13 and a half.
Yeah, it's a good spell there.
Yeah.
I can relate to you as well. I'm the eldest of 6.
Wow.
And my baby sister is 4 or 5 years older than you are. My baby sister. She's like half my age this year. So 22 years between me and her.
Yeah.
Is that, and I loved it because I got to see the younger ones growing up. Like literally now my youngest is an adult. She's like my roomie now, which is brilliant. But I don't know, it's just something really sweet to see that. But I get what you're saying. You're also looking forward to your independence, which totally makes sense.
Yeah, I told my mom when I turned 18 I cannot babysit for her.
Gotcha.
I love babysitting my siblings.
Yeah.
But I have no work experience because of it. Like, I'm at home all the time.
I see.
So it would be nice to like actually be able to go out with my friends for a night and not have to think about babysitting the next day.
For sure.
And like.
And you babysit so often because your mom works as well?
Yeah, my mom and my stepdad. I go to school from like 8 to 4 p.m. And then I babysit 4 to like 9.
Gotcha.
And then I come home, like I'm home.
Yeah.
And there's not really any reason to go out because my mom won't take me anywhere. And then on the weekends I babysit like till like 2 in the morning because my stepdad is a bouncer. Okay. So he needs a ride back. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting
life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Yeah. So when I peer into my crystal ball that is your future, here's what I see. I see, like after you graduate, there's gonna be this exhilaration because now you have your own schedule and you can be independent. Meaning your own schedule, meaning like no one's setting for you deadlines of when you should be like getting assignments done. For example, I'm not sure if you're planning to take a gap year or go straight to university, but you're kind of the one who is now figuring out what you want to commit to in life. If you have a job, then there's that's going to come by way of responsibility, saying, gotta wake up whenever they tell me to wake up and go to work and do my time at work, for sure. But the money that you'll earn and learn how to like manage is going to be fun. And also the autonomy to like do things with your friends. Although, like you were saying, in family dynamics, that still may encroach unless you find your own space with your friends, maybe. So yeah, that'll be the fun part where you're like, I get to do whatever I want. But then you're also going to learn that there's also the demands that life has, saying it costs to do whatever you want as well. So it's, kind of both in it. My biggest encouragement though, dear, not that you asked for it, but
it's okay, let's hear it.
I would say what I didn't do when I was in your season, when I was making plans for my future, I was like, here's how everything's going to work out just perfect. Like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to finish it this time, and I'm going to go on to do this, and all the things. But what I didn't do is I didn't give myself margins for when the plan doesn't go according to plan. Because in reality, the guarantee that all of us have is life is going to come and screw our plans over in royal fashion. Yeah. From unexpected sicknesses to lost opportunities, just a whole bunch of stuff. And so when you're making your plans or whatever your ambitions are, don't forget to say, I'll make these plans, but here's my buffer for if this doesn't go well, here's what I'll pivot to, or here's how I'll just be ready for that part, because life is always going to do that too. Right. So, yeah. But a good starting point is finishing your exam today and then getting on to the after part where you're not stressed out anymore. That's a good start.
Yeah. And then back to school on Monday. And then grad pictures on Monday.
Ooh.
And then... I need to get my dad to keep money.
For grad pictures?
Yeah, in my grad picture dress. Because I'm not paying for that, and my mom's not paying for that.
Does your dad live here in Calgary as well?
No.
No.
No, he sucks. But it's okay, we live our love through it.
To me like you have a story of resilience.
You think so?
It sounds to me like you do, or you're already doing it. You're kind of, you don't have much of a social life, you were saying.
Oh, yeah.
That's resilience there, right? Because you're still optimistic about what you will. family dynamics are unique, just like most of ours are. And I hear resilience there as well too. Yeah, it's a superpower. In case you were wondering,
A superpower.
it doesn't feel like it in the moment. In the moment, it's like, let me just get through this, right? Yeah.
That's okay. Patience is a virtue.
What would you say is the most surprising aspect that makes you you that most people don't know?
Probably just like the amount of stuff that I go through that I don't really talk about.
Yeah.
Because
on a personal
I'm
level.
the quote unquote therapist for so I'm always listening to other people's stuff.
And you don't have someone who you can trust with your stuff.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd rather not talk about my emotions or feelings or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather just pretend they don't exist.
I see.
Yeah. And I think that's my avoidant attachment style. That's just that, maybe just me.
Gotcha. I hear that.
It's rough.
It's not, yeah. It's almost like you're primed for something to take the pressure off on your end, right? Like, because I can't imagine doing that over a long haul. There's a lot of stuff that has to be sort of unpacked and processed and made peace with, right? Would you ever go to a therapist or a counselor?
I have in the past.
You have.
But my last therapist.
Yeah.
I managed to get him to talk about himself more than I had to talk about me.
Oh man.
So.
And so he really let you get away with deflection.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I see.
About it.
Right.
I just like deal with my stuff like on my own.
Right.
And like even though I do need a therapist, I think that I'd rather live it out until I need a therapist. Like maybe I want one, but I don't necessarily need it at the moment.
You're an independent soul. When you meet your partner, it may also be challenging that it seems to learn how to intimacy. That's the part that may be scary for you.
The emotional intimacy.
Absolutely.
I've ended so many things just because they got too emotional with me.
Yeah, like too close to the core. And maybe is it fear that drives you, where you're like, oh crap, they're gonna get too close and then figure out that I'm not lovable?
Yeah, that and like they're gonna find out all of the things I dislike about myself.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just like every time like somebody like I even have one right now. Like I just ended it recently, and I said that we can be friends if you want.
Yeah.
And like he's anxious attachment.
Yeah.
And so he like when he loves really hard, and I'm not ready to become that vulnerable with another person. So he's not very happy about that.
Yeah.
But he's trying to alter what he wants to what I want. But I told him like he doesn't need to do that. And like just because I'm not ready doesn't mean that like you can't go off and find someone who is ready. Like I don't know when I think like I will be ready for that type of stuff. I'm happy with like situationships, like friends with benefits.
Yeah.
I'm not
too
ready
close
to think about a type of relationship where like, oh, am I gonna be long enough? Am I gonna be with them long enough to be married? Like I'm not trying to think about that.
Yeah. Fair. My perspective on this is that there is word intimacy is a scary one for so many people because I heard someone once say intimacy is like into me, see, and that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
I was in that spot once upon a time. I'm like, I hope no one ever finds out when I'm hiding, kind of thing. But I think in some way, I think we would love to be seen in a safe way.
Yeah.
Where someone actually says, I see all of you holistically, and you're good, even though you're messy, just like I am, right?
That's why I think I'd rather have a friendship with somebody first, and then eventually get to the romantic one. But like immediately going to the romantic one just throws me off.
That's a lot of pressure, isn't it? I see. I get that. And for example, I would say like this conversation, you may not, well, in my economy, I would say this is like an intimate conversation in that you were sharing things that you wouldn't just necessarily tell anyone per se, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a stranger, so that's probably what's helpful. I'll never see you again, so.
Yeah, exactly.
There may be that. Thank you for sharing with me. I hear it and I value it.
Of course. It's always nice to talk to somebody about what's up.
I do. This is like one of the largest schools in the city, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how many students do you know? Is it like 3,000?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
Because like it doesn't look that big from the outside, but I guess it's pretty massive.
It's huge from the inside.
Is it squeezed, like crowded, or
It
not?
literally looks like a maze. Like I've been in here once before.
Oh wow.
And I kept getting like I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then got lost.
Oh crazy. So this isn't even your school then?
No, it's my school is near my house.
Okay.
I hate downtown with a burning passion.
I live downtown because I love it. But I get it. Yeah, it can be quite amazing here. Alright, so let me see if I can find you a door that you can.
It's okay. The door's down there.
Down there? On around the front?
No, it's right
Oh.
there.
Nice to meet you, darling.
Nice to meet you too.
I appreciate
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck on your
It was
test.
very exciting.
Exciting, you say?
Very fulfilling morning, you'd say.
Oh, I'm glad. You got this. I'll watch out for you again. Well, and by the way, in case you're wondering, you are worthwhile.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love to hear it.
Just so you know. Yeah. I don't know you, but I know you well enough to know you're worthwhile.
Just a little conversation.
Absolutely. For sure.
Okay.
All right, darling.
God.
You got this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think she spoke for so many of us in the way that we feel or see or perceive ourselves, right? So many of us struggle in that sense of saying, ugh, I'm not sure I like what I see when they see me, right? So, yeah. I'm back. Had to get a muffin. Hey, welcome back, my friend. Good to see you. Just had a great conversation with the student who's on her way in for a Spanish exam. And man, I do not miss school. I so don't miss school. Deep Talksy, yes indeed. Yeah, it's kind of what we do around here, it seems. Deep talks indeed. I think I better start driving to my next destination because it's going to be a ways away. It's going to be, yeah, a good 40 minute drive away. The city is so expansive that it takes a while to drive wherever I need to get to. But it's nice and bright out now. Let me just show you the street view of one of these beautiful side streets here. Just so you can see how gorgeous it is around here. Like, man. This hoarfrost doesn't happen like instantaneously. It takes time for the crystals to like form on these trees, but oh, it's really beautiful. Kiss, sweet and beautiful. This is an area called Mission here, and it is a lovely, lovely little neighborhood back here. Quaint. I used to actually live not too far from here, a block or two away. I loved walking up and down the streets. Yeah, it's quite nice. Beautiful. Isn't it, Hudson? I know, it's quite lovely. Drive down one of these side streets. You can see the condition in the roads around here, right? So these are the ones that don't get plowed, and so we just kind of drive through the slush. Well, it's not slush yet, it's just dirty, compacted snow. And then this area here at the stop sign is a little icy, so you have to watch out. And then this is like one of the secondary arteries, so they do this one a bit more, but not completely, but it's more clear. And then it gets to the main ones where it's like a lot more cleared out. Alright, so that was a lovely little ride with Corinne. Let me end this live stream here and then touch base with you guys in maybe like half an hour, 35-40 minutes. Yeah, about 40 minutes. I think I should be over at my next pickup location, so I'll touch base with you guys soon. Bye.